What's going on, guys? So today is an absolutely beautiful day. It is about 40 degrees outside, but the sun is shining, the sky is completely clear, and boy, I'm loving this weather. So I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to shoot a video for you that I think is super important if you're shopping for an RV in 2024. Hang tight, I'll be right back. All right, so in this video, I am going to showcase 10 things that if you are shopping for a new RV in 2024, you should just be able to find on just about any RV that you look at. So 10 things, and this is important because if you look at our Brookstone here, this is a 2021 model. If you look at our Surveyor here, this is a 2024 model. And there's a lot of things that we introduced to the market in 2021 on this Brookstone that are now becoming more commonplace in 2024. So let's start pointing out some things that if you're walking an RV dealership lot, you should just expect to see on a 2024 RV pretty much across any price category. First, and this is one that you are starting to see quite a bit, but you still don't see on everything, but I think is something that should be included on just about everything, and that is a power front tongue jack. These are so convenient when it comes to raising and lowering the coupler into the back of your truck, and they take a lot of the work out of trying to hoist the arm. So a power front tongue jack is one that I just absolutely expect to see on just about any RV, travel trailer wise, that you're going to see in a dealership lot. If it is a solid wall unit and it's not corrugated, which means it's not stick and tin, basically wood with an aluminum sheathing over it, if it's solid like this, I expect it to be Asdell. Now, there are some manufacturers who for some reason are still holding out on switching to Asdell, but if I were looking at a travel trailer or fifth wheel or even a motorized coach shoot in 2024, I just expect them to have adopted using Asdell already. It's a composite board. Basically, the fiberglass is attached to a composite board instead of a wooden Luan backer, and you just don't have to deal with rot, delamination, and things like that, unless for some reason the manufacturer of the RV did a really poor job of laminating the two together. But Asdell is one of those things that I just expect to see on most solid-walled, flat style, this fiberglass style travel trailers and fifth wheels in 2024, and even motorhomes. Now, this may be one that gets me in trouble, but I'm still going to say it. Upgraded tires. There are so many RV manufacturers who are still using the cheapest possible tire that they can get on an RV, and I do not like that. For instance, our Surveyor uses Goodyear endurance tires. These are a quality tire. You have a lower likelihood of experiencing a tire failure as long as you keep up with the maintenance of your tire, but a good quality tire, I think, is a prerequisite for an RV, simply because if you're shopping for a new RV and there's a poor quality tire on the RV, you may not even know. And you're pulling an RV down the road, maybe for the first time, with a tire that's not the best or not a high quality tire. I really don't think that that's a good thing. I think in 2024, RV manufacturers have access to so many more tires available to them from quality names that they should absolutely put a quality tire on an RV whenever you get it off the dealership lot. Okay, so here's one that our RV, our Surveyor, doesn't have, and it's not as important on lighter units as it is on heavier units, but I still would like to see every RV come off the dealership lot with an upgraded suspension on it. The one on here, like I said, is not an upgraded suspension. That's an upgrade we're going to accomplish, and it was one that we talked to the Forest River folks about before we got into this collaboration as an upgrade we would eventually do. But an upgraded suspension system basically mitigates the amount of shock from the road, gets to the tire, gets to the wheel, the hub, and then into the chassis of the actual RV itself. So an upgraded suspension, I think, is something that you should look for on just about every RV you buy. Keeping in mind, your lighter weight units, typically, if they're under 10,000 pounds, you're probably not going to see that, and that's something we still need to ask for. Number 5 is onboard TPMS. I actually think that that needs to be like an industry mandated thing. Basically, when you buy an RV, you get a TPMS system on board. Our Forest River Surveyor Legend comes with its standard on the Legend as well as the Grand Surveyor series, because they know how important it is to have an RV right off the dealership lot that you can monitor the air pressure in the tires. And keeping an eye on how that air pressure is doing, keeping an eye on if you're overinflated, underinflated, and what the temperature is, can all be critical aspects to having a confident towing experience, especially if you're just getting into RVing and you want to have the safest possible experience going down the road. So TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, I think should be standard and actually mandated on all new RVs. Number 6, and this is a big one, but most manufacturers have not adopted it yet, is ABS on the trailer. If not ABS, some anti-sway control system on a trailer. Simply because including that on a trailer, or being able to have the ability to control sway on a trailer inherently in the electrical system of the trailer, can be huge in terms of preventing an accident if you're towing an RV down the road for the first time. Now, there are some great aftermarket options and there are some great OEM options, but I believe ABS brakes should be something that you should start seeing standard in 2024, even though I believe most manufacturers have not adopted it. But at the same time, at least some type of electronic anti-sway control system to help mitigate the chance that new folks who are RVing for the first time, who have never towed an RV down the road, have a less likelihood of experiencing an issue simply because of some aggressive maneuver they might need to make or high winds. Now, I know all of you knew I was going to say this. LED lighting. I believe every light on an RV should be LED at this point. It's a safer light. It draws far, 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 far less power than your typical incandescent bulbs. And they're so much more visible from farther away because they're so much more intense. Yes, snow can accumulate on them, and I know the heat from the bulb isn't going to melt the snow, but that's something you could probably do before you take off as one of your pre-trip inspections. Just go around, make sure all your lights are visible. I believe every light on an RV in 2024 should be LED, and there are still about 30 to 40% of manufacturers who aren't doing it. I don't get it. It, to me, makes no sense, and I think in most cases when they're not doing it, it's simply because they haven't decided to make the change. LED lighting technology is so much more affordable than it's ever been, and arguably you can find the exact same light size and diameter and dimension and all of that stuff for about the same price as what you're currently paying for incandescent. So it's not a cost thing. It's just get off your butt and start putting them on thing. And I think that manufacturers need to start putting LEDs on everything. Most of them, about 60% of the industry has already adopted LEDs on everything, from the top clearance lights to the interior lights to the exterior lights. Every light inside should be LED. Many manufacturers have done it, but there's still a handful of them out there who have not done it. Switching to LED, I think, is a prerequisite for me looking for an RV in 2024. Now, this one's going to be subjective, and some folks may not agree with me here, but the cost of on-demand tankless water heaters has dropped so much that I believe this should just be something that you see on every RV. Again, the folks over at Surveyor, even on their lower cost series and their higher cost series, included on everything. A lot of manufacturers are starting to put the on-demand tankless water heater on everything. Now, I know there is an argument for having a tank that can actually hold hot water in it, but there are so many perks as to why you would want a tankless water heater for on-demand heating, so you don't have to wait as long. It keeps the water flowing, as long as you have some way to heat it, of course. If you don't have propane or electricity running, then it's not going to work efficiently. But on-demand tankless water heater has always been an upgrade, this super expensive upgrade you've only gotten on super high-end units. It's come down in price. It's available. You're seeing them on so many more units from brands like Dometic to Gerard. And quite frankly, it's just something that should be included on every RV. If you still want a tank water heater, you know, quite frankly, you can always swap yours out if you had to, but tankless is the way to go. It was always considered a premium product, and now it should just be included. Number 9, an upgraded mattress. Now, it doesn't even need to be upgraded. It just needs to be like a real mattress. Most RVs, most of them, unless you get super premium fifth wheels or super high-end travel trailers or motorhomes, are going to come with, I don't even know if you want to call it a mattress. It's essentially some type of interwoven foam that they wrap in some type of a cloth to appear to look like a mattress. But a quality mattress, it does not need to be an expensive mattress. It just needs to be a real mattress. Something with either springs or memory foam. Something that is actually designed to give you a good night's sleep without having to add a bunch of stuff to it. Now, most people, like us, will add some type of a topper or will try to do something like that. But I think most people just kind of expect if they're going to be paying, you know, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 or more for an RV, that the manufacturers can just throw in something that's at least reasonably comfortable, something that isn't just a pad. And in 2024, I think RV manufacturers should start looking outside of the box, partnering with good brands like the folks over at Brooklyn Bedding. Now, this is not a sponsored video or an endorsement specifically for Brooklyn Bedding, but there's so many mattress manufacturers out there that make RV mattresses that I believe it would actually help sell RVs if the RV manufacturer put a sticker that said mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, or, you know, some upgraded mattress. And I think that step alone would be one of the single biggest advancements to interiors when it comes to RVs. What do you think about that one? And number 10, and you probably saw this one coming, 12-volt refrigerators. There are still manufacturers who are putting gas-electric refrigerators inside of RVs, and I know that there's this argument for the gas-electric refrigerator, but at the end of the day, they're harder to cool, they have to be on perfectly level ground. Whenever they break, they're stupid expensive to replace. 12-volt refrigerators have come so far from so many different brands like Everchill, Furrion, Dometic. Even the folks that historically made only gas-electric refrigerators like Norcold are making 12-volt refrigerators now. The technology has come so far and the prices have come down so much, it only makes sense. You don't have to be on completely level ground. It cools so much quicker. It draws so much less of your resources because it operates off of 12-volt, and most of the time a small battery with a solar panel can keep the thing running. And small upgrades to your RV's electrical and solar and battery system can make these things run indefinitely. So there's no reason to still have gas electric refrigerators, considering they're like $1,500 for like a 9 cubic foot refrigerator, when there's so many 12-volt options that are available. Shoot, there are even 12-volt French door style full residential size models that are available. So again, there's no reason to have a gas electric or even a 110 residential style refrigerator in an RV anymore. You don't need to have some huge inverter to be able to power your refrigerator when very, very cost effective and good sized 12-volt options exist, especially considering many of them now have an off-grid option to draw even less power. So you're wasting even less electricity. You're burning through less resources. So 12-volt refrigerators, wrap this video up. Number 10, it's one that I absolutely think you should expect to see whenever you're walking an RV dealership lot in 2024. And as a bonus, I really believe in 2024, RV manufacturers should step up quality control. They should step up the inspections that they do down the line as well as at the end of the line. They should hold their workers accountable and make sure that they are putting out the best quality product that they can and not just focusing on quantity. There has been so much heat from social media, from customers posting videos on YouTube, from the forums, indicating that there needs to be a vital shift in how RV manufacturing takes place and what's expected. And it starts at the manufacturing plant with the inspectors that are working at those facilities, making sure that what's going down the line is being built correctly. I understand there's labor issues. I understand that there's employees who might need to be paid better, treated better, and taken care of in a way that maybe the industry just hasn't done in a long time. People are going to a dealership lot spending their hard-earned money on RVs, and they should expect great quality control because it's a product people are working for. It's a product that somebody goes to a dealership and expects to buy to have minimal problems. And there's so many small, little, tiny steps that have been recommended to the industry for years that should start being adopted, so folks who buy RVs for the first time, second time, third time, or fourth time have a good experience with the RV when they leave the dealership lot. I think there's a lot of progress in this space. The folks over at Surveyor are an example of that. The folks at Coachman, the folks over at Brinkley, Alliance, and Grand Design, and Jayco, they've all moved forward and they've all started doing much better in these areas, but there's still a lot of work that can be done. And I think you, the consumer, deserve to have a higher quality, better product with fewer excuses. Anybody who reviews RVs knows how they're built, and oftentimes we come up with reasons or excuses for why they're built the way that they're built. But there needs to be more pressure on manufacturers to turn out a higher quality unit with fewer problems. I think everyone is screaming for that, and that needs to take precedent over all 10 things that I outlined in this video. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. Do you think my top 10 for 2024 are important? Are these things you look for? Are these things you're gonna look for? And how do you feel about them? Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.